Welcome. Today we will be reading lesson 286 in the workbook, and from the text, chapter 25, The Justice of God, the Introduction, and section 1, the Link to Truth. And now for lesson 286. The hush of heaven holds my heart today. Father, how still today, how quietly do all things fall in place. This is the day that has been chosen as the time in which I come to understand the lesson that there is no need that I do anything. In you is every choice already made. In you has every conflict been resolved. In you is everything I hope to find already given me. Your peace is mine. My heart is quiet, and my mind at rest. Your love is heaven, and your love is mine. The stillness of today will give us hope that we have found the way and traveled far along it to a wholly certain goal. Today we will not doubt the end which God Himself has promised us. We trust in Him and in ourself, who still is one with Him. Let stillness and silence abide within oneself this day. In the quietness is revealed the wholeness and certainty of one's source. For there is nothing one need do, as all decisions have already been made. All choices chosen. For love has already given one everything one has ever sought, waiting only for one to receive its gifts. Through eternity's peace have all wars ceased in one's mind. Trusting in love's guidance, the journey promises its way to the destined goal at long last. In rest and in peace have all doubts disappeared, amidst the certainty of love's arrival. And now for our text reading for today, from chapter 25, The Justice of God, the Introduction, and section 1, the Link to Truth. And now for the introduction. The Christ in you inhabits not a body, yet He is in you. And thus it must be that you are not within a body. What is within you cannot be outside. And it is certain that you cannot be apart from what is at the very center of your life. What gives you life cannot be housed in death. No more can you. Christ is within a frame of holiness, whose only purpose is that he may be made manifest to those who know him not, that he may call to them to come to him and see him where they thought their bodies were. Then will their bodies melt away, that they may frame his holiness in them. No one who carries Christ in him can fail to recognize him everywhere, except in bodies. And as long as he believes he is in a body where he thinks he is, he cannot be. And so he carries him unknowingly, and does not make him manifest. And thus he does not recognize him where he is. The Son of Man is not the risen Christ. Yet does the Son of God abide exactly where he is, and walks with him within his holiness, as plain to see as is his specialness set forth within his body. The body needs no healing, but the mind that thinks it is a body is sick indeed. And it is here that Christ sets forth the remedy. His purpose folds the body in his light, and fills it with the holiness that shines from him. And nothing that the body says or does but makes him manifest. To those who know him not, it carries him in gentleness and love, to heal their minds. Such is the mission that your brother has for you. And such it must be that your mission is for him. The link to truth. It cannot be that it is hard to do the task that Christ appointed you to do, since it is he who does it. And in the doing of it will you learn the body merely seems to be the means to do it. For the mind is his, and so it must be yours. His holiness directs the body through the mind at one with him. And you are manifest unto your holy brother, as he to you. Here is the meeting of the Holy Christ unto himself, nor any differences perceived to stand between the aspects of his holiness, which meet and join and raise him to his Father. whole and pure and worthy of his everlasting love. How can you manifest the Christ in you except to look on holiness and see him there? Perception tells you you are manifest in what you see. Behold the body, and you will believe that you are there. And every body that you look upon reminds you of yourself, your sinfulness, your evil, and, above all, your death. And would you not despise the one who tells you this, and seek his death instead? The message and the messenger are one. And you must see your brother as yourself. Framed in his body, you will see your sinfulness, wherein you stand condemned. Set in his holiness, the Christ in him proclaims himself as you. Perception is a choice of what you want yourself to be. The world you want to live in, and the state in which you think your mind will be content and satisfied. It chooses where you think your safety lies at your decision. It reveals yourself to you as you would have you be. And always is it faithful to your purpose, from which it never separates, nor gives the slightest witness unto anything the purpose in your mind upholdeth not. Perception is a part of what it is your purpose to behold. For means and end are never separate. And thus you learn what seems to have a life apart has none. You are the means for God, not separate nor with a life apart from his. His life is manifest in you who are his Son. Each aspect of himself is framed in holiness and perfect purity, in love celestial and so complete, it wishes only that it may release all that it looks upon unto itself. Its radiance shines through each body that it looks upon, and brushes all its darkness into light, merely by looking past it to the light. The veil is lifted through its gentleness, and nothing hides the face of Christ from its beholders. You and your brother stand before him now, to let him draw aside the veil that seems to keep you separate and apart. Since you believe that you are separate, heaven presents itself to you as separate too. Not that it is in truth, but that the link that has been given you to join the truth may reach to you through what you understand. Father and Son and Holy Spirit are as one, as all your brothers join as one in truth. Christ and his Father never have been separate, and Christ abides within your understanding, in the part of you that shares his Father's will. The Holy Spirit links the other part, the tiny, mad desire to be separate, different, and special, to the Christ to make the oneness clear to what is really one. In this world, this is not understood, but can be taught. The Holy Spirit serves Christ's purpose in your mind, so that the aim of specialness can be corrected where the error lies. Because his purpose still is one with both the Father and the Son, he knows the will of God and what you really will. But this is understood by mind perceived as one, aware that it is one, and so experienced. It is the Holy Spirit's function to teach you how this oneness is experienced, what you must do that it can be experienced, and where you should go to do it. All this takes note of time and place, as if they were discrete. For while you think that part of you is separate, the concept of a oneness joined as one is meaningless. It is apparent that a mind so split could never be the teacher of a oneness which unites all things within itself. And so what is within this mind and does unite all things together must be its teacher. Yet must it use the language that this mind can understand. In the condition in which it thinks it is. And it must use all learning to transfer illusions to the truth, taking all false ideas of what you are, and leading you beyond them to the truth that is beyond them. All this can very simply be reduced to this. What is the same cannot be different, and what is one cannot have separate parts. In this new chapter called The Justice of God, we are taught that the shared self, the Christ self, does not dwell within bodies. What love created unlimited cannot be contained. To say that one dwells within a body is not to know the true self. In minds who see themselves as a body, the Christ fills the body with the light of its own holiness. One first becomes aware of the shared self by gazing upon the other's holiness and seeing it there. For the separated mind, the Holy Spirit is the teacher of the Christ's goals, guiding one practically in time and space to gain the experience of oneness. The Holy Teacher guides one in the world to see the sameness in the different bodies, and to see the wholeness in the separated parts. And by this one gains an experience that goes beyond time and space.